Hello everyone, it's Joseph Zabrowski. It's been a little bit, but here I am back with you. And you are not going to want to miss this video. If you haven't heard the recent news about USI Tech, you are going to want to take a seat and listen because you're going to be very pleased. You guys, it's been phenomenal news, and I'm going to be sharing that with you at the end of this video. Quite frankly, I believe that what I'm going to share with you before we get to that is even more important than USI, although I am so utterly pleased with USI. And what I hope to do here is encapsulate or put in a nutshell what I have learned over the last few weeks. Now, just to let you know, I've been making a living online for, I guess, about 6 years now, making a pretty good living. And I'm one of those guys who was always in the college room, classroom, and the high school classroom asking the questions, okay? I would get my teachers, I think, frustrated how many questions I would ask because I was always interested in how things worked, and I didn't have a problem asking questions. The point is that I'm always learning, okay? And what I'm going to share with you today is a result of what I have learned. It's nothing that complicated or complex. It's pretty simple, but I'm telling you, if you will utilize it, it will work to your benefit. And you're going to make more money, you're going to have less risk, and you're going to reach your goals a lot quicker. You know, it's said that the greatest wisdom is to learn from other people's mistakes rather than having to go through the school of hard knocks and learn it yourself. I've seen people do that in my life. I've seen younger people do that in my life. So it is possible. I prefer to learn from other people's mistakes and not go through the school of hard knocks. So let's start, okay? I'm going to try to get right to the point here. I'm not going to waste any of your time, and I will tell you, like I said up front, at the end of what I'm going to share with you briefly up front here is going to be Horst Jicka giving you an update. Now, I know probably many of you have already saw it or heard it, but probably many on my team have not as well. But you're going to, rather than me telling you what's going on there, Horst is going to tell you. All right, so the first three topics that we're going to talk about is the blessing in disguise, the engine vision, number 2, which has a parenthetical portfolio, and the third is foundational Bitcoin earning source. Okay, so let's let's keep rolling. Okay, so the blessing in disguise, kind of like Beverly Hillbillies. You remember? Now, I love the Beverly Hillbillies, and old Jed was in the wilderness, having to shoot some rabbit to fend for himself, and he hit the ground with one of his shots, and up came a bubbling crude, and their lives changed, and there they were in Beverly Hills. And it's kind of like over the last few weeks with USI, a lot of us have had to go back to the wilderness, and USI had been a great ride, and it's going to get better as we proceed, but there was many things to learn over the last few weeks. Now, I was forced to diversify my Bitcoin earning sources and companies. I had intended to do this from the time I had gotten into USI, but things were going so well with such a fast-growing company that was so much fun with so many great products that I never got around to diversifying. So when it went down, I was forced to get a vision, okay? Now, it came upon me very clearly and very strongly, and I call it the engine's vision. And this is no lie, you guys. This actually came to me. I was taking a walk, and this came to me like, boom. And I know when stuff comes to me, I know what's real and what's not. Okay, and this was very real, because whenever something is real and it's good, it's for you, what comes with it is freedom. Whenever something is bad and is not for you, and it's from the enemy, it's from like the devil, it will bring forth oppression. That's a good guide in life, okay? So I knew that this was right because it brought with it so much freedom. So I saw the Titanic, okay, right here in the middle, streaming like a fine running machine, thus cutting a swift line through the Atlantic Ocean. In my heart, that Titanic was me. I was financially strong, smooth, and nimble because I was well prepped, okay? My eyes moved to the hull of this great ship where the engine lied, okay? And it was working like a top, thus at the top of its game. Now, nothing could stop me when the unspeakable occurred. the engine sparked something fierce and stopped. My heart skipped 3 beats, and the engine went completely down as the Titanic slowed to a steady halt. As it sat in the water, the engine gradually came up to 1/3 its capacity and moved, allowing the great boat to move like a tugboat rather than the Titanic. Now, because I was so strong, without losing stride, I immediately flew in 3 brand new strong engines, and I saw those engines coming in to the top of the boat, okay? And I connected those engines in the hull, and we were moving just like before. But now we had 2 backup engines, as well as the old engine that we were fixing in case we ever needed it. We were stronger than ever. Thus, the next time an engine went down, our heart would not even have to skip a beat. We'd simply turn on the next engine and thrive while fixing the one that went down. Okay? So, well, let me just go back there for a second. So this was the engine being fixed in the Titanic. It was the one engine. And I just flew in 3 new ones. Okay? And we were off to the races. So basically, my mind immediately went from what I just shared with you. It went to my online business in USI and my Bitcoin earning ability. All right? Because it's all about Bitcoin earning ability. Now, this great company went down out of the clear blue sky and left me with a means, but not the kind of cash flow I had worked for. By the way, the reason I'm sharing this with you is all done in the spirit of learning from our mistakes. Okay? That's what this is about. All right? So, you know, it's our online business, and that's me. Have that passive income flowing in. But I'm sharing with you, it's not to focus on me, it's because it's to give you an example so that you can relate it or parallel it to your own life. Now, I immediately saw the 3 new engines with the 4th one being fixed and the Titanic humming a line atop the Atlantic like it was nobody's business, as you can see here. Okay? Now, the word portfolio came to me like a breath of fresh air. In the portfolio were various engines, but these engines were not mechanical. They were solid, passive Bitcoin generation businesses earning 1 to 2% per day that had Bitcoin flowing through them nonstop, so that if any one of them went down, the others would keep the Bitcoin/cash flowing no matter what. Okay, so I saw this portfolio, and then in this portfolio there were various Bitcoin engines, just like the engines on the Titanic that I had to fly in. There was not just one engine. Like we started off with USI, there were various engines, okay? And they were all bringing in cash flow, certain amounts for each engine, okay? Now, over the weeks and months ahead, I am going to share with you, this is back to reality here, I'm going to share with you the top Bitcoin generation engines that will keep you earning should any one of them go down, all right? I will typically do this in a private Zoom meetings, as many of these businesses have compliance measures, just like USI. Thus, we must adhere to them. Now, we will take one step at a time, slowly but surely revealing these engines so that you can build a portfolio of passive income businesses that secure your future. Each one will be different, thus have their own flair, but all will add color to the picture of your financial future so that it's bright and beautiful. All right? Now, I will give you the first brief foundational engine overview in a moment. Now, all of these engines, obviously, are used at your own discretion. You utilize what you think is best for you. I personally will be using all of them to limit risk. I repeat, to limit risk. Hence, everything we do in life, such as stepping out the door each day, comes with a level of risk. Thus, you decide what works for you. If you're not comfortable with taking risks, you'll either have to get comfortable if you want to better your life and want to do this, or simply do not get involved. That is fine, you guys. Don't get involved if you are just adverse to risk. If you don't like risk, and that's just something you don't want to do, any kind of risk, you want to, keep everything in a box, that's your choice. I would not get involved with this. No, I personally do not consider all cryptocurrencies risky relative to other investments. I think many of the crypto markets, compared to, say, commodities, the Forex markets, and the options markets, are an utter cakewalk. I literally do. Okay? To me, it's kind of like vacation compared to the others, because I have traded commodities, I've traded options, I've traded futures, which are commodities. And most of those are controlled by the government. The government has what's called the plunge protection team. It was instituted during the Reagan administration. And literally, they can do whatever they want with the markets, you know, by just like taking a lever and just bringing it to wherever they want. That is a fact, okay? Look it up for yourself. Do the research. It's called the Plunge Protection Team in Washington. Now, the whole idea of creating a portfolio, and by the way, I want nothing to do with that. I experienced that in the commodities markets. Literally, I would get the rhythm of a market. I'd spend so much time getting the rhythm of a market, and I'd be making money, and then all of a sudden, they'd close that particular market. Okay, I've had that happen to me many times, and they ruin your whole rhythm, and then you go back to the market when they open it up, and now you got to regain a new rhythm for whatever, you know, the changes that they've made, and it becomes, you know, they're working against you continually. Okay, so the whole idea of creating a portfolio is to learn from our mistakes, thus limit the risk as much as possible. So we do have our own, by the way, I just want to say that we have our own generic Bitcoin funnel that is already created, which will allow you to lead others to the passive income or Bitcoin generation engines in your portfolio that allow you to build teams and earn commissions from your team members. And that's, you know, I can't say that all of these Bitcoin generation engines that I'm going to share with you over the months are going to allow you to build teams and bring in others and earn commissions from them. But the ones that do, you will have a funnel, a generic funnel if you want to use it. And you can use that funnel to lead people to you, to your phone number, to your list, so that you can continue to help them grow and learn, and they can continue to, you know, be your clients. So that funnel is available. It's already finished. I haven't shared that with you here in the short term because all that happened with USI, you know, going down. I didn't. It just wasn't appropriate to share. But that is in place, just so that you know. So now let's get into that quick foundational Bitcoin generator that I was going to share with you. And then we're going to go immediately into listening to Horst Zicka regarding USI. Now, I say that this is a foundational Bitcoin generator, investing and trading cryptocurrencies, and then, as I said earlier, we'll get into USI. Now, I call this foundational because the reason it's foundational Bitcoin generator is because this generator that I'm going to share with you, it's just going to be a brief overview, is something that will allow you to basically not have to send money to a new company and, you know, and just send your Bitcoin or money to a new company. You can just put it in your own wallet, okay? The little strategy that I'm going to share with you. And in the process, you can have a hold of your Bitcoin in your own hard wallet, or you can have it in an exchange, but you don't have to send it to a company and take the level of risk that comes with sending it to a company, even though I don't think it's great risk in sending it to a company, but sometimes it can be. It's obviously less risky to keep your Bitcoin in your own wallet and just have certain cryptocurrencies in there that can just sit there and build and grow and grow and grow. Okay, so now the first step to doing this is obviously you have to have an exchange so that you can purchase the cryptocurrencies. Okay, now I know that most of these exchanges are not accepting new people right now because they've been so busy because of the influx of people moving into the cryptocurrency world. Now, some of the top ones are GDAX, Poloniex, and Bittrex. Okay, there's various others. There's all kinds of them out there. And the idea here is to join one or all of these exchanges. There's various others, as I had said, and so that you can, you know, send money to those exchanges and purchase your cryptocurrencies. Okay, the ones that I'm going to share with you. Now, as I said, many of them are backed up right now, so you need to just be diligent and tenacious and persistent and consistent in, you know, continually trying to get into them. So just make that one of your motives and goals here. So the idea here with this first foundational cryptocurrency Bitcoin generation strategy is to keyword invest. When we talk about investment as opposed to trading, we're talking about just sitting on stuff. So we invest in the top 10 to 72 cryptocurrencies, and then we sit on them. So I'm going to give you an example here. In 2017, if you invested $10,000 in the top 10 cryptocurrencies, you would have made about $600,000 for the entire year. That's just from purchasing those cryptocurrencies and just sitting on them. That was last year. Now, I can't say that that's going to happen this year, but because it did happen last year, there might be a good chance that it could happen this year as well. It could be better, it could be worse. But last year's results were definitely positive. So a good place to go is called Exodus.io. That's Exodus.io. And they have a little program or an application that you can download. And in that application, we'll have the top 17 cryptocurrencies. We're using them as a place that has taken the time to, stay abreast as to what the top 17 cryptocurrencies are. So what I did was I got into Exodus and I just used them, kind of. I leveraged their information and I bought all of their top 17 cryptocurrencies: Augur, Bitcoin, Dash, Decred, EOS, Ethereum, Litecoin, Salt, and so on down the line. Okay, so the strategy is that you purchase those cryptocurrencies. You want to purchase, a consistent amount in each one, the same amount in each one, and just let them sit, ideally, in your hard wallet. First, you'll have to buy them on a cryptocurrency exchange, as I explained earlier, such as GDEX, Poloniex, or Bittrex. And then once you have them there, you can transfer those cryptocurrencies to your own personal hard wallet. Okay, so you have to get a hard wallet. And that creates a much more safe situation, so that, because in your own hard wallet you have your own private key, whereas if you have your stuff on a cryptocurrency exchange, it's better than having it. It's more safe than having it with just another company in a lot of circumstances. But if you have your own hard wallet, then you have your own private key to that wallet. Whereas these cryptocurrency exchanges, they have their own private key, and so you have to share that key with everyone else. So it's better to have your own hard wallet so you can have your own private key. Okay, so that limits risk. And we're all about limiting risk. Okay, so the third part of this is trading cryptocurrencies. And remember, trading is not investing. Investing is sitting on cryptocurrencies and letting them grow. Trading is actually going into the markets and trading. Okay, but in order to do that, you have to learn how to cryptocurrency trade, right? So we have a free cryptocurrency trading room that's being led by a guy that's a phenomenal trader. Okay, the guy makes millions of dollars in the cryptocurrency markets, and he's providing the service for you for free. Okay, I don't know how long it's going to last, but it's there. And we do meetings at 9 p.m. Eastern on Wednesday and Sunday, and he literally tells you the trades that he's doing, and he shows you why he's doing it. He teaches you his method. He's phenomenal. Okay, and so that's available to you if you're on my team. And you can join our Facebook group. It's called Bitcoin, Forex, and Fun, and get all updates. And not only do we have formal meetings on Sunday and Wednesday showing you all the key trades, but during the week we have what's called a trading room where, when necessity arises, he gives us a message in this Facebook group that he's going to go to the trading room in case there's if there's a particular update, he wants to update you on a trade or trades, and we'll all go to the trading room during the week, and could be during the middle of the day, could be whenever, and he'll give you the details of what he wants you to know. Like I said, I don't know how long this is going to last, but it's an unbelievably phenomenal situation to be in. And as I said, this will allow you to be self-sufficient. If you learn how to trade, my friends, you don't have to worry about being in other businesses to earn passive income. Although those passive income plays are really good plays because they just add to your portfolio. Remember, this is the portfolio method here. Okay, so we want to add those different portfolio businesses, Bitcoin earning engines, to our portfolio, as well as being able to, be self-sufficient and trade for ourselves. All right. Now, I say that this is foundational because you could do this alone. As I already said, that it's just another slide. You can do this alone without ever sending your money to a fairly new passive Bitcoin generation company. It takes this will take more work, but once established in this, you are self-sufficient. Now, if you're serious about being strong in this space, you must begin with at least the investing side of this equation by getting some of the top cryptos and sitting on them, like I told you about. Okay, when I say investing, that means that you really don't have to have any knowledge. Just get into an exchange and get the cryptocurrencies and just sit on them, rather than going in the markets and trading them. So you could just be sitting on some here to get started, and then in the process gradually learn how to trade in the markets, and that will make you self-sufficient. All right. So that is basically it. We're going to get to the main event here. In my next video, I will direct you to the second engine in our portfolio that will allow you to diversify. Over the last few weeks, I've looked at numerous companies, and I've researched them. I've talked to some of the leaders in them, and I'm going to be choosing what I think are the best passive income Bitcoin generators, the most reliable. And I'll be offering those to you so that you can put those in your portfolio and strengthen your position in the cryptocurrency space. So the whole idea here is that if one of your engines goes down, okay, this was birthed or born out of USI going down, in our case. Luckily, it's coming back up here in America and Canada. But I learned from that. I had wanted to diversify from the beginning, but now I'm going to put what I've learned. I'm going to make it reality. I'm going to put it right in front of my face, so that the next time I will be better prepared, and you will be better prepared as well. I'm sharing this with you so that you can get stronger as well. Okay. Now, let me see here. Okay, so the whole idea here is that if one of, as I said, this is the key, this is the essence. If one of your engines goes down, you have various others providing cash flow, so you can guarantee yourself sufficiency and long-term income therein. All right. So on with the show. I will have links for you in the next video regarding the first, or I should say the second engine, because I just presented to you the foundational engine, and I will have links for you for the next engine, or links to contact me, so that you can get on my list, and I will be sharing this portfolio information with you as we proceed. I'm going to take my time with this. I'm not going to rush it. Personally, I like to take one step at a time. Research a company, take a step into it, invest in it, and start earning. I can tell you this first, or I should say, the first example that I just shared with you, I'm already earning money in it, good money, okay, through my own trading and through my own investing. All right. And this second engine that I'm going to share with you in the upcoming weeks, or I should say days to weeks, I'm already earning money in that as well. Okay. And I've talked to the leaders, and it's pretty solid. And I'm going to share with you my findings. So now we're going to come to the main event here, which is Horst Jicker from USI, explaining everything. You guys, you do not want to miss this. I thank you for your time. Until next time, let's listen to Horst. Sit back and enjoy this. You're going to like it. Okay.
The withdrawal of USI from USA and Canada was one of the biggest things that's happened early this year. Can you just tell us what were the events that led up to that happening, and made you decide to actually come out of the States and Canada? If you can just elaborate a little bit on that, so people understand what predicament the company was put into.
There are two reasons why we finally came to this decision. The first thing I have to tell you is, I don't know, but since we are in the business, we always told people, I always told people that I'm happy to fight for USA for many reasons. And but I also told, whenever I had a chance to speak to the audience or to our partners live on live events, I always told them, please be aware, if you don't market and communicate our business right, especially in USA, with all the difficulties, not only us as USI Tech, but also many other companies, we're gonna have some difficulties. And then finally, difficulties appeared, and our lawyers and Jonathan is one of them, who was in charge with all this. He had to communicate all these upcoming issues with Texas, Canada, and what else. And that was ongoing, and we have sent out many warnings where we told people again and again, please don't behave with this marketing communication. Don't come up with this hype of our business or whatever, overselling of our business by showing your back offices, your incomes, your Ferraris, your Lamborghinis, your millions of incomes. We do have the best market plan, and we do have high incomers in our business, and that's great. But this overhype in USA especially made many whatever offices or law departments a bit nervous, and Jonathan, our lawyer, was dealing with that, and that was one case. And I come back to Jonathan and our where we are with all this. So the other thing was, we realized in December there was a out of a system error in our system, and huge abuse in our system from partners, or a lot of partners. And finally, that was the reason why we decided to switch off USA and Canada in order to stop the wrong communication in the market, one thing, and stop the abuse as well. So that was the reason why I finally decided to switch USA and Canada off.
Yeah, I mean, there was a lot of abuse, and we'll touch on that in a second. When we go through a couple more other questions. But what I wanted to sort of labour the point on, this was the advice of your legal representatives to come out of the States at that time while you assessed, the potential commercial risk to your business. And the statement was made for everybody to see, so it was no secret. And if you have corporate lawyers, then you have to take their advice. I've had corporate lawyers in the past through mergers, acquisitions, and you have to take their advice. That's what you're paying them for, essentially. So one of the nonsense and the rumour mills then start spreading that our legal advisor hadn't engaged with the authorities in the States. Can you just confirm that, obviously we did engage with the authorities out there. And off the back of that, I think you've got some good news coming, because what was the outcome of it? I know we've seen a first, I think you got a first draft about half an hour ago or so, but this has been something you've been working on furiously in the background. I mean, people sort of say, well, where's Horse, where's Wealth, and all the rest of it. There's an awful lot of work and toing and froing. You can't actually come out with anything until you've got that document in your hand, which I believe you've got today, not fully digested yet, but essentially, can you just confirm that we did engage and what the outcome was of those lawyers?
We were always engaged from the very beginning with lawyers, not only in USA. We are consistently engaged with our lawyers worldwide. We had a special group of lawyers in USA always. Finally, it was Jonathan Herbie who was involved in all the latest upcoming issues. And finally, he was the one who strongly recommended to switch off USA and Canada out of the latest results on his end. So and that's a clear statement, that's important, not because we did some illegal or wrong things in USA or in Canada, but because our partners marketed and communicated it in a wrong way, and all these legal apartments or financial apartments in USA, they strongly recommended that we need to communicate marketing and sales in a different way over our partner. Otherwise, that's the most important statement. USA Tech in USA and Canada never did anything in terms of illegal things in USA. All the departments, they confirmed once you market the product and you communicate it in the right way, there is nothing within your company, your product, your activities, we would see anything illegal. So this is something this is the reason why we finally switched the system in USA and Canada off, but also We are working since then on a legal statement, and we are almost there where we believe we can switch USI, Tech and USA and Canada on again.
Wow. So we're nearly at the point that we can actually switch America and Canada back on. Is that
That's
what
right.
That's what you're saying, Horst?
That's right. I got the latest draft of our attorney and legal statement, which we're going to make officially, which points out more than clear that we never had an issue, we as a company, in terms of legal, unlegal activities. But we have to discipline the marketing and sales activities. That's also a part we need to fulfill by coming out with a clear marketing and sales communication. The problem was we were involved in so many things in parallel, you know, a huge growth worldwide, a new product, the coin that we announced, our ecosystem that we developed. We changed our software supplier with all the issues we had with the new software supplier. That all based on an unbelievable growth. And that was the reason finally why we haven't had a chance to create finally in a short term all that it needs, especially for USA and Canada, to discipline our, if I can use that word, our marketing and sales activity with our partners.
I mean, and that's sensational news. I mean, that's great news, and I think we're. I still keep in touch. We do these calls. We've got a big team in the States and Canada, and in the main, they've been fantastic, really. Obviously, there's been a bit of stress that they've been put through and what have you, but they've kept the faith. It's your responsibility to keep this company safe. You have to take, just to reiterate, you have to take lawyers' opinions, and if the lawyer's opinion needs to come out while you address the commercial risk for the safety of the rest of the business, then you've done absolutely the right thing. And the fact that we can actually go back into Canada and America is fantastic news. I mean, my phone's going red hot now already, Horst, with that announcement. And the obvious questions now are going to be, what is the approximate time frame? You probably can't answer these, but I'm going to ask anyway. Have you thought about time frames in launching back into the States?
The way we're going to switch USA and Canada back on again will be, first of all, we have to take care, as I always told everybody who was in front of me or I was involved in discussions, our first priorities are our customers, as they are participating in our business with our brilliant product, BDC packages, and we're going to switch this on first of all. So we're going to continue to let people withdraw their return of BDC packages, which is their money they have invested into our company. But out of the fact that we have closed USA and Canada until today, we're going to do that in a controlled form, because I'm a bit afraid that that's going to be, once we switch it on again, it's going to be like a bank robbery. Everybody think he has to take out or pull out as much as possible because maybe it's just for a short time frame or whatever. So it has to be in a controlled way in order to make sure that we protect the company. But of course, it was never the intention to steal someone's money or to take someone's money away. We have still ongoing investigations, and this investigations have to be finalized in order to filter out, and I mentioned this already, a lot of abuses in our system with fake accounts, double accounts, and not so regularly takeouts in terms of withdrawals and money. So that's these are the priorities, and it's all controlled and with our lawyer involved. So every process is we will come up with now. All our lawyers are involved and they control it, and they give us the suggestions how to proceed.
Yeah, I think we talked about abuse of accounts and what have you. It's a major issue, and it's. I think it's stunned not only the corporate team, but many of us that are involved at the level of abuse. I mean, the platform that these guys have provided for us and what it produces should be good enough. You know, it's very disappointing what has happened. You know, but steps were taken to ensure that the company reacted to it, to make sure that the company looked into it, gave themselves time to do this audit, which is an ongoing audit. It's not just America and Canada. It's probably a global thing, I would think, and that's going to take the company some time to do that. But you know, we're looking at making sure the marketing material and the sales funnels and all that sort of stuff, if it mentions USI, it needs to be taken down, guys, for the safety of the business. And you know, this is going to be policed a lot heavier with USI, I can tell you. And if you are marketing it incorrectly, you're at risk of losing your account. That is correct, isn't it, Horst?
Yeah, the point is, I really don't understand why a total of, in the past, a total of 2.5 Bitcoin was for some of our partners not enough in terms of withdrawals. So when we talk about abuse, it was from case to case, it was a really creative way where people abused possibilities, especially from our merge old system to the new system, where we had temporarily some issues. They were abusing it, sorry for that word, but they were abusing it in an unbelievable way. And the point is, if you remember, and I believe you remember, the very beginning with our BTC package, 2.5 Bitcoins, what was it, 2,500 euros, something like that, 2,500 euros as a maximum of withdrawal per day. At the end of last year, 2.5 Bitcoin per day, that was almost 45,000 euros at some time, or let's say from 30,000 to whatever, to 40,000 per day. And still, it was not enough for a lot of partners, and they were searching for very creative ways by opening whatever fake accounts, an unbelievable amount of rebuy for partners, again with a very creative way, sometimes, or in some cases. And what happened is, out of the system error, if you remember, I was always talking on stage and live and whatever. The most important part are our reserves. So reserves means we always need to have enough in our reserves in order to be able to pay BTC packages, return of BTC packages back. So out of this abuse, we, especially in USA, not only in USA, but especially in USA, we damaged our reserves. Why? Because at the beginning of our business, it was trading only. We came from the Forex trading, as you remember. We then switched on the cryptocurrency trading, and then we plugged in mining, and mining was our main focus in terms of long-term investments within the last months. And that's exactly the problem, that we are now on long-term investments, and we have damaged a bit our reserves at the moment.
Okay, I mean, that's an interesting point. I mean, you know, the company moved into more long-term investments. There's been a hell of a lot of investment made in the mining side of things, and we're going to touch on the Ethereum pool in a second as well, because I know people want to hear about that. But the main thing here is we need to fulfill those contracts that are in place, and they're big contracts. I mean, I don't know if you can discuss in a second just how big those contracts are. And, you know, fulfilling those contracts will further, you know, give further stability to the business, and it is the longer term play, and that's where all of us need to be, in the sense that we, you know, need to get to the long term play. And because of the abuse that's happened, what I'm hearing is we need to just readjust for a period of time, get to those long-term contracts, and fulfill those to give further stability to the company. Just how big are those contracts? What does that make us once we fulfill those contracts in terms of, you know, size of player in this market?
Our first engagement with mining at all was the Ethereum mining, as you all know. And let me explain shortly why Ethereum mining is not transparent at the moment, because I asked our supplier a week ago to change the wallet for the income of the interior mining. And there was no warning from our supplier that if we are going to change the wallet, and I changed the wallet for security reasons because the old wallet was not secure enough for whatever reasons. Takes too long to explain that. So I asked our supplier to change the wallet. He changed the wallet, and finally the transparency was gone. I said, so where is our transparency now? He said, you asked us to change the wallet. Once you change the wallet, the transparency is not connected to the wallet anymore, and you can't see it anymore. So nothing has changed in the Ethereum mining. We still mine and earn exactly the same as every day before on a daily basis. The only thing that has changed, the supplier did not inform us once we changed the income wallet, our transparency is gone. Now we have to reassign it to the new wallet. Once this is done, to our new income wallet, Ethereum wallet, the transparency is the same like before. Let's talk about our first engagement with Bitcoin mining. Our first engagement with Bitcoin mining was a lease business. It was not we buy hardware, we have a mining farm, and we are transparent at all. It was a lease business. That was the only way at the beginning to be able to get in touch with, in such a short time frame, within weeks, with such an amount of, at the beginning, 120 petahash. I don't know if that says something to the audience, but 120 petahash is relatively huge for a one-time order. And that was a lease business. In a lease business, it was clear we tried to make that as transparent as possible. Out of the lease, we're going to show the transparency, but it was a lease business. Everything after this first 120 petahash that I announced in Mallorca, if you remember, wrongly, out of my misunderstanding. But the contract was there, the mining is there, the income is there. That's all true. My guess that's from supplier A, B, or C, or whatever I mentioned there, that was wrong. Forgive me about my technical misunderstanding. But from there on a consistent basis, we focused on long-term investments instead of trading within Bitcoin mining only. And the ongoing contracts which we have to fulfill until so far May and June 2018 puts us in the top 10, I would say maybe in the top 6 miner position worldwide. So that's the amount of mining we have invested to give you an idea where we are. And that is not a bit mining, that is we're gonna be at least under the top 10 worldwide biggest mining companies in the world. That's where we are in terms of mining.
And that's exactly why we need to fulfill these contracts. So we need to take steps to make sure we do fulfill it, having rectify the abuse side of it. And what I would say to any affiliate out there, if you feel that you have abused the system, if you feel that you have duplicate accounts, then do the right thing. Right into compliance, delete those accounts. You're not helping the business, you're not helping yourself, you're not helping your co-affiliates either. And, let's get this bit tidied up as quickly as possible, because the quicker you tidy it up, the quicker we can get back to normal business. But, the other point that I wanted to make, and, Horst touched on the Ethereum pool, a post that's been going around today, someone far smarter than myself, he's actually tracked the wallet addresses back and confirmed ahead of the call with Horst tonight that USI are mining Ethereum, and that pool is very much there and up and running. So let's give the guys a bit of credit, in terms of what they're doing, and let's give them a bit of support, okay? Okay, so Horst, with everything in mind, you're talking about the abuse and all that sort of stuff, what we need to do going forward. Just before we talk about what we need to be doing to go forward, just a couple of other questions in regards to the US, because I'm going to get probably bombarded, and you probably can't answer these because you've only just got that legal opinion. I accept that. So if you can't, then don't. But will they be able to keep their tokens that they've purchased? Is that okay? Is one question that's come up. Will they receive well, we've answered that. I think it's just really the token question, actually, Horst. Do you know the answer to that yet without reading that and going through that document and speaking to the lawyers on the token sales? Are they able to keep the tokens they've purchased?
I'm absolutely convinced that once we come up with our ecosystem and our own coin, and I can see it on a daily basis, I mean, the progress of our development, and I can tell you that's going to be absolutely outstanding. The first videos in English, and we will translate it in other languages to explain our ecosystem based on a video, is also done. That will go out within the next days. Our white paper is out. It's available in German and other languages soon. Today I received the German version. I can tell you that's going to be great. It's just going to be great. Our own exchanger, based on our own coin, some additional things like integration of credit cards and all these things. This is on a very good way. And now we start to do technical webinars where we introduce it and we make the videos and so on and so on. The token sales is ongoing. It's as we expected it. It is perfectly distributed so far, and all the tokens which are out in the market are safe. Everybody who owns tokens will own tech coins once we launch the coin. This is clear. This is, I mean, that is as it is, and that's always as it's going to be. The other thing is when we talk about abuse, you know that we switched off the rebuy for partner. It was for two reasons. First of all, our lawyer strongly recommended that we switch it off because we, as a company, we cover a business that's outside of USITech. What does that mean? If you buy packages for a partner and the partner gives you the value for the purchase of the packages, either he gives you cash or whatever, that's a business USITech covers, and it's ongoing outside in terms of money collection or value collection or whatever. So most of the time it was not for free. I cannot believe that dozens and hundreds of Bitcoins distributed to partners were for free. So people, they sold BTC packages based on rebuy for partners and they collected money outside. That's against the law, and it was strongly recommended by our lawyers to switch that off immediately. But the second reason why we switched it off was that with the possibility unlimited rebuys out of a system error in our system during the migration into our new software, the abuse was unbelievable high in terms of creative rebuy for partners in a dimension you can't believe, and I don't want to mention it here, but I can tell you honestly, this short time frame where it was possible to rebuy with this dimension, it literally destroyed within a short time frame our most important asset, and that is our reserve, which we have to rebuild again. That's why we switched off the rebuy. Now we have another problem in our system, and this is the commission out of the rebuys. So as customers are rebuying on a daily basis, we realized that we have a lot of accounts in the upline which are feeded, so to say, out of the commission of the rebuy. So, and that is the point. We are going to switch off the rebuy commission for a while until we have discovered all these abuses, cleaned the system, and regained what we have lost in terms of abuse of our system. And that's all with our lawyers involved. So I can tell you honestly, I'm happy with every loyal partner out there. I'm happy to see high earners. That was always the intention. But I'm really a bit, let's put it this way, a bit upset about the fact that with that high amount of possible income in our system, it was not enough for many people out there, and they were trying like crazy to pull out Bitcoins as much as possible with any kind of, let's say, system possibilities we had, especially because we migrated our system and we had some system errors. So that's the point. That's where we are.
I think, Horst, it's terribly honest of you, and I think people will appreciate that. I mean, from our point of view, we've always sold this wonderful BTC product on the basis it's good enough without anybody into it anyway. You know, the product, and I remember when we did some of the first road shows back in March in the UK, you know, it's a standalone product. There's nothing quite like it on the market, and it delivers, okay? So the fact that commissions on partner rebuys has to be suspended while you complete this audit and ensure we get to the end game, which is obviously to fulfil those mining contracts. But just think about it, guys. You know, by fulfilling those contracts, you know, making us a top 5, 6, 7, 8 player in the world gives us long-term security for all of our businesses. So I don't think that's an issue. I mean, I know there's going to be commission on new people coming coming in. That's fine. But turning off commission rebuys for a period of time to ensure that you know, we reach and fulfil those contracts, I think is obviously managing the company how we need to manage it to get to that end game. I think the other thing also is that allows us to go back to a daily withdrawal basis on the return on capital on the BTC packages. Can you talk a little bit about that, Horst, please?
Yeah, the return of the customer comes first. That was always what I was telling everybody who was talking with me. So we had a little delay out of 2 reasons. First of all, I mentioned this already. I have to take care that we build and keep the reserves. But secondly, we also had to switch from our wallet supplier into our own payment system, where we are doing the complete handling now for all withdrawals and all incomes by ourselves. And there was security first. It takes a lot of resources in order to make sure that we are not going to get hacked, that we are sure that the payments are, income and outcomes are working perfectly. And that causes a delay at the moment as well. But that's not the main issue. The main issue is we need to get rid of these abuses, and we need to get back to what we have to build. And we need to make sure, as customer comes first, that we, in first priority, always pay the return of the BTC packages. That's what we're going to do on a daily basis again from this week on. And the second priority is to take care that we pay the commissions as well in time. And that's exactly what I believe we are back into the normal modus within the next couple of days.
That's absolutely great, and again, thank you for your complete transparency and honesty on that. Like I say, everybody that is on the call, watching the call, we're going to be watching the call over the next few days. I think it's great that we've got a grip on it. I mean, it's fantastic news that we're coming back into America and Canada. I've got some great friends there. So it's like I said, the phone's going absolutely mad over on the right-hand side here. Everybody's excited about that. You know, the UK events, as I said, they've been phenomenal this first week back, and we're going to have the same week coming forward. We've got lots of events coming up. I think we're looking to perhaps do a weekly, not myself necessarily, but other top leaders within USI, perhaps doing a corporate webinar, you know, with yourselves once a week, once a fortnight, just to keep everybody informed as to what's going on. I think it's been difficult because you've been waiting for that legal advice. You know, people are saying, you know, when can we hear this? When can we hear that? You know, until you've got that statement and you've got that clarity, and you've started tidying up, you can't actually come out and say anything, you know, guys, because we don't want to miss anything.
The point is, John, we have a great business, and it will even be greater and more fantastic once we have launched our coin, and that's we are close to that. And my message to all the partners out there is, try to keep that business safe. It's unique in the market. It's up to your behavior. I think there is no other possibility out there where you can, where you have the possibility to earn, even if on your own input, so your own purchases, but also by recommend the business with partners. Keep that business clean. As more you try to abuse it, as more you risk it. And we have a lot of black sheeps out there, so to say, but I can tell you, most of the people out there, they are honest. They are happy with it. I get, on a daily basis, I get hundreds of letters of how we change lives out there. We are working on our ecosystem, because I like to change a bit the whole market with that as a unique system. Try to keep the business clean. It's good enough. It does not need any abuse. It does not need to feed 5 uplines and the goldfish and the hamster and whatever in order to pull out as much as possible from the system. If you like to help, if you want to help your family and if you want to help your friends, just earn on yourself and with let's say with a clean on a clean way, and then help with your earnings. We have partners, they have earned millions. Why do they need to pull out more than the regularly daily income they can earn? That's something I don't understand. So keep the business clean, and we can keep it up for years, many years in the future, especially what will come up. But I also have to tell you, everybody from now on who abuses the system, I'm going to follow it with all the legal possibilities we have, and I will send out everything it needs to punish them in terms of legal possibilities. I do not accept any longer people out there who are trying to destroy our wonderful business. It's not acceptable at all.
No, and it's not acceptable at all. And it's something that I think it's only right and proper that you take a hardline approach on. Okay, just before I let you go, one more question. You know, the legal opinion's out. When can we expect you to put a statement, presumably in the back office, on that legal opinion for people to see? Is that something you're going to be working on over the next 24, 48 hours so we can see it ourselves?
Sure. Within the next 1 or 2 days, 24, 48 hours, definitely. Once we both confirm, our lawyer and us, the content of his statement, we're going to officially promote that. And at the same time, we're going to switch on at least the package repay, withdrawals for the packages, and switch on USA and Canada again. And again, my message to all the USA and Canada, I know you have a hard time, or you have had a hard time, you still have a hard time, but it was never the idea to take anybody's money out of the purchases into our products away. It was for security reason and for safety reasons, and we will switch it on, as I told you, with a control mechanism in order to make sure that we don't have additional damages for the company. But at the end of the day, we don't want to take away any customer's money. A customer comes first, and everything else comes next, especially for USA.
Well, that is absolutely great news, Horst. I really appreciate your time this evening. I know you're incredibly busy. You know, on behalf of everybody that's involved in USI, thank you for this wonderful product that you've come out with. I think the onus is on us to tidy up anything that we need to. If you know it's going on in your downline, jump all over it, because it's not right. We've got a wonderful opportunity, so let's not spoil it. Let's crack on. Like I say, the events are going mad. Let's do it in a compliant, controlled manner, okay, and let's grow and help us, USI, all of us, fulfill our dreams and aspirations. Thanks again, Horst. Good night from myself, and good night from Horst Gischer. We will see you next week with another update. Thanks very much for tuning in.